Hello, my name is Ethan Clifford. I'm 18 years old. It is December 10th. I'm here with Lucas Clifford, my dad. We are recording in my room.
Can you tell me the story of how you met Mom? Do you remember when you realized you wanted to be together for good? So I worked at the Walmart in Ozark, and your mom was a manager. I was a associate out in the shop, and your mom used to come back there and give me a hard time. Used to make me feel really uncomfortable and tease me. And then one day she transferred to a store in Springfield, and I gave her a call. And then, we started talking from there. When did I realize we were going to be together for good? I have always wanted to be a dad. So when she told me that she was pregnant with my son, I knew it was going to be forever.
Can you tell me the story when the day you first saw me?
Yeah, the day I first saw you, the day you were born. We had, we were I was preparing, we were preparing, and when your mom went into labor, it was a long process. It was a long day, 12-hour day, and the time came when you came out. I always will never forget, you came out of the womb and you were looking around and you didn't cry. I always thought that was such a boss thing, that my son came out looking around, chilling, and there was no tears. It wasn't until they spanked your little bottom to hear you cry that we knew everything was going to be okay. But yeah, that first time I saw you, I knew I loved you.
Do you remember the time when I was like a baby?
Sure.
Okay. Was there some times that I made you ever angry?
Yeah, so as a baby, Ethan, you were perfect, man. You were perfect baby. Cute, playful, laughy. You as a baby, obviously first time dad, there was some highs and lows. Your baby, there's not a lot of sleep. Me and your mom, we were still trying to figure things out. So there was some, as far as like making me angry, did I punch through some walls, some doors, in the middle of the night when I wasn't, 3 hours of sleep? Sure. Well, we don't talk about that. That was then. I'm a better man now. But as a kid, you were a perfect baby. Smiles, laughter, loved hanging out.
Crying in 3 a.m. right now?
Yeah, 3 a.m. Sure. Was there a hole in a couple doors? Yes. But better the doors than something else.
Okay, so as a parent, what changed you as a parent? Anything big happened in your world? Surprised you?
Yeah, being a parent. Yeah, sure. Being a parent changes you. You stop thinking about yourself first. And you start thinking about your kids and what's best for your kids, and whatever you were going in life, you kind of now have responsibilities. What was I surprised by? I've always wanted to be a dad. I guess I don't know. It's being a dad, having kids is like a complete thing. It does change you. Things that you thought were important aren't as important. When your kid gets sick, the whole world stops. It freezes. Like nothing else matters. The football game doesn't matter. What for dinner doesn't matter. Going to work doesn't matter. Like making sure your kid is good and healthy, is fed. All those things take a huge priority. And so, yeah, I guess that's what would be the most surprising, is how completely it takes over your life without even you realizing it.
So what was the hardest moments that we were growing up? Like, what was the most hardest moments?
The hardest moments when you were growing up? Yeah, okay, so when you were 6 or 7 and we had your sister Ella and we had 2 kids, me and your mom both were managers at Walmart and we worked overnight. So me and your mom used to have to alternate. She would work 3 days, then she would have 3 days off. So when she was off, I was working, and when I was off, your mom was working. We did that for a couple years. That was hard. That was really, really hard. Being at home with a 6-year-old and a baby, your sister without your mom there. She was at work and it was overnight, so like I had everything, and then vice versa. Like I would come off of overnights and I'd be exhausted, and your mom would have to be sleeping because she had to work the next night, and then we had 2 kids. Like it put a real strain on our marriage. And that's why, in the end, your mom ended up stepping down to spend more time at home, and that kind of is how we fixed it. But yeah, it was a rough couple years. We were kind of alone a lot. Babysitting was expensive. We didn't really have the money, so like this is the way we chose to do it, and it was tough. It was probably tough on both you guys too, but we got through it, and we move on.
Okay, so let's just say time resetted, and I was back into a baby. Would you teach me differently? Like
Raise you differently? You
raise
mean?
you, yeah.
No, that's a deep question. I don't know that I would raise you differently. I'm, very proud of the young man that you're becoming. But if I could do things over, without getting too much into details because it's personal, but I would try to make it to where your mom and grandma were good. I miss not having my mom around. We don't have much family, so like I would have fixed that. I would have done things different. I probably would have done things different so that you could have more family around. Again, I don't want to get into it, but not having my mom has been tough. She's a great grandma. And I think that if we could do things over, I would definitely have done things different with my mom and your mom, and we would have tried to figure out a way to talk through it and made it a little bit easier, because I really think that you guys have missed out on having my mom in the picture. So it's a good question.
So, say if I have kids, what advice would you give me?
What advice would I give you about raising your own kids? Man, I would tell you to be honest with them. I would tell you to love them. I would tell you to enjoy it and kind of be in the moment. Sometimes you'll tell me I'm on my phone too much. That's what, I need to hear that. So I guess that's the advice I would give you, is to listen to your children, love them, and, find a way to talk to them. We have a really good relationship. We've always been able to talk, but I don't think it's like that for all parents. Even you and your mom are a little different. Find a way to talk to your kids, enjoy them, love them, support them, and shoot them straight. Be honest with them as they get older. And I think that, if you love your kids, it doesn't matter how you do it. You're going to be a good dad. If you have a little girl and she does something and you spank her little tush, look, in the end, as long as you love that little girl, however you discipline them, however you raise them, however you choose to celebrate holidays, who you choose to celebrate holidays with, none of that's going to matter. Just love your kids, enjoy them, be honest with them, support them.
So what are your dreams for me?
Well, first of all, you're 2 feet from me. You're asking me these deep personal questions. So let me think about that. What are my dreams for you? Man, I have done my hardest to be a good dad. If I have a dream for you, I would love for you to find somebody that makes you happy, and I would love for you to have kids one day down the road. I think you'd be a great dad. I think I want you to find love. I want you to have children, and I want you to remember how important family is. Find somebody you love, have children, love them, and be happy.
So, are you proud of me?
Yeah, that's an easy one. Super proud of you. Nobody's ever gonna know how hard you fought to get through school. You've got things that you've gone through. You've made it through. You're 18. You're healthy. You're funny. Right now, you don't hang out with your mom and dad as much as you used to, but I know that that'll change. I'm super proud. I probably couldn't be prouder. How hard you fought to be a senior in high school with the things that you got going on. What kind of friend you are. how funny you are. I know you get that from me. You make me laugh, and I think that you're a good man. So yeah, I'm very proud of you. Yeah.